What is up, YouTube? It is time for the number 2 video on my top 10 supercars list. I am super excited about this one. I hope you are. It is the Pagani Huayra. Let's get right down to business, man. Price on this thing is going to cost you $1.5 million. That's a lot of cash. But I think it's worth every dollar, and I will explain later why. This thing runs thanks to an AMG V12 twin turbo engine, produces 730 horsepower, propels the car from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and 0 to 100 in just under 6.5 seconds. Fantastic. It also has a top speed of 225 miles an hour. The transmission on this thing is a 7-speed automatic gearbox. It's a manual automatic because you have the paddle shifters, but they also did something that's really cool that a lot of people don't do. You can use the paddle shifters, or they actually have a gear shifter. It doesn't go through the gears like it would in a manual transmission. You up for up, back for down. But very genius, gives you the feel of a manual transmission vehicle if you want it. Or you have the paddle shifters if you want the convenience or the speed to get through all the gears and just blow your friends behind you out of the water. Now, Pagani has sort of taken the supercar world by storm when they first released back in 2000 with the Zonda. The Huayra is no different. When it released the Huayra in 2010, everybody was impressed. Pagani all of a sudden became that car company that made cars that you wanted a poster on your wall of. Very similar to the way Lamborghini was back in the 80s and 90s, building the Countach and the Diablo. Something that's interesting that you may not know is that Pagani, Horacio Pagani, the guy that owns the company, actually used to work for Lamborghini, and he designed the Countach and the Diablo. So, it's no surprise that when he starts his own car company, his car company is the new sort of bedroom wall poster that you want to have. It's no surprise at all. When I first heard about the Zonda, which was the first car Pagani made, back in 2007 probably is when I first heard about it, I fell in love with the car instantly. It's amazing, out there styling, but yet very refined sort of way about itself. Yes, it was loud and obnoxious and crazy and just bonkers and ridiculous as far as a car goes, but it was beautiful, it was gorgeous, and it was so artfully and craftsmanshiply done that it automatically elevated itself above almost all other supercars. The only one that really rivals the Zonda, in my opinion, as far as overall craftsmanship, is the Veyron. Yes, the car goes 263 miles an hour. Yes, the car has 1,000 horsepower. Yes, the car weighs, I don't know, like 4,000 pounds or something. It's really heavy. But they don't care. They want it to be luxurious and magnificent and just something that speaks to craftsmanship and expertise. And Pagani has gone the exact same route, and they haven't skimped, they haven't overlooked any detail. If you look at the interior of this car, it is like a 5-star hotel that you never want to leave. It's beautiful. It's so expertly crafted and so well put together, and they've spent so much time focusing on the details, doing the right thing, that it just it speaks to your heart, basically. And it spoke to my heart, and that's why I love the Huayra so much, is that they aren't about making the fastest car or the most expensive car. They're about giving you the experience. So you're in a very fast car, and you're in a very expensive car, but you're also in a very luxurious car. And it comes through so well when they have put all those materials together. Alright, I'm getting too caught up in the history and everything about the car itself. I'll go back to talking about the car. The Huayra is not only a sort of artistic masterpiece or master craftsmanship piece. This car is also like technologically advanced. It has 4 sort of hydraulic wings throughout the whole vehicle. There's 2 on the front and there's 2 on the rear, and those activate above 50 miles an hour to reduce body roll when you're cornering. They also assist with braking. They will go full up, so to speak, when you hit the brakes to assist you in the braking process. But that is something that has not been done as far as the front of the vehicle. A lot of supercars now have the hydraulic raising spoiler that comes out of the rear that acts as an air brake, or just it will self-level itself to where it needs to be to give you the most downforce. But it's always the rear of the car. This car, the Huayra, has it on all 4 corners. What Pagani has done is incorporated these 4 wings so that when you go around that left-hand corner, the left front spoiler will deploy at a higher rate than some of the other ones to give that front left wheel more downforce, more grip, so you don't lose control in the corners. It is so genius that when Top Gear sent it around their test track, it had the top time. Not only is the car just simply a masterpiece, the engine too has been reworked by Mercedes. It's taken them 5 years to create the so-called perfect engine for this car. Yes, it's a V12. Yes, it's twin turbo, but they've gone from 3 valves to 4 valves per cylinder in recent years and reduced emissions up to 30% and made extra horsepower. So they've made it more powerful, more efficient, and reduced carbon emissions. It's fantastic and amazing what Mercedes has done, and it's taken them 5 years to do it. Yet Pagani is like, okay, we're okay with that. Take your time. We want this to be perfect. And they did the exact same thing with the Huayra. When they first thought about the Huayra, it was 2003 or 2004 when they started working on the Huayra. They may not have exactly known that they were working about it, but with all the different renovations of the Zonda and the new releases that they would come out with, it just led up to the Huayra, and they've released this amazing ride, and it's almost perfection. Like, you can't say anything bad about Pagani, the Huayra, the Zonda. You can't. It's like impossible. All this just goes to show that if something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. Pagani deserves a lot of credit. It's tough coming out and starting your own car company, especially if you're trying to get into the supercar market with the names like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Jaguar, all those names being so established already. It's hard to be the new guy and say, look, I've made a car that's better than all yours. But that's exactly what Pagani did. And I love him for it. I love the car. It's beautiful. I could just ramble about this car for hours. But I will spare you guys from that, so yeah. So that, I'm gonna call it, is it for me. I'm Jared. That was the number 2 spot, the Pagani Huayra. If you liked the video and you want to subscribe to the channel, click on the Huayra and you can subscribe. It's an amazing car. There you go. Even has some really cool doors. Always. Not a lot of car companies have those anymore. So yeah, if you like what you saw, click on the Huayra, subscribe, like the video. Appreciate you guys for watching it. Thanks a lot. Got one more video coming out next week. The number 1 spot. It's my favorite car, obviously. But really it's tied, I would say, with the Huayra. There's one thing that sets it apart, and I will talk about that in the next video. So stay tuned. Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, it's coming out. Keep it yagging. Thanks a lot. See you guys later.